I'm your Dungeon Master, FN Science Man, and we've got with us today Ezra, our best Undertaker boy, played by One Silent One One. It's extra armor because, Dungeons and Dragons are present. We've got Segrid, our broken fighter, being played by Miss Misery.
Hi.
We've got Toren, our off-tested cleric of Kellenvor, played by Squid Kittens. We got the best paladin over here, being played by Bad Wolf. That's Anna. Paladin.
She is unconscious, so she's not very best right now.
No one's more unconscious than her. She's in the lead. Best at it.
That's accurate.
Mm-hmm. And then Dantiir, well, we'll see what happens to Dantiir, but Thimbris is having a night off, so we will see what happens. And as he asked, try not to die. So
No promises.
No promises.
So when last we were with our heroes, we were at the tippy top of the Abbey of Saint Markovia over there north of the village of Kresk. You are very, very far to the west in the Valley of Barovia. In fact, the road disappears into mist just a few feet west of Kresk. That's not your concern for the moment, because there's a big yellow dragon, golden scales, and he used to be the Abbot. He tells you this because he can still speak psychically to you, because he's a dragon now. He had been an angel, a deva, some sort of religious extraplanar entity, and you, as a party, didn't seem to take too kindly to their harboring of a known genetic flesh golem creating scientist sorcerer, Glovia Falanesco, who you did finally bring to justice on literally a valley-wide campaign from the tip-top northeast of Rashna village to Kresk in the west. Her daughter, who had been successfully ensconced in a new flesh golem body, Isabella, is maybe a tad upset at the mortal send-off of her mother. And you know what? That didn't help any dragon attitudes. Ezra embiggened Toren Forester, and then the dragon breathed fire on everyone.
Yes.
Alright, so checking in for the save DC of a lot for DC 17 dexterity saving throw. Checking in for Ezra. How'd Ezra do?
Well, he made the saving throw to not get all the damage and die.
Mm-hmm.
But he did not save on his Constitution check to maintain the enlarged bow on Toren. So Toren is tiny again.
Alright, Toren, you're back to being tiny. Or medium-sized, I guess. And that means Ezra takes 27 fire damage from this big gout golden flame. How's Segrid with that DC 17?
Yeah, no.
Alright. Segrid takes
full damage.
Full 55 fire damage. Alright.
Yeah, I'm hurt.
How's Toren?
Toren also took the full frontal assault.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a little owie.
Okay. Still standing?
But still standing.
Yeah, still there. Anna?
Anna took everything and is unconscious because the flesh golem had already done some damage to her.
That is very true. And while that fire is going, you all do see Dantiir kind of do his best tuck and roll that he can, and as that fire starts to consume him, there is, in somewhat familiar fashion, like when the lake exploded just a few hours ago, there is a wave of white. There is a wash over Dantiir, white waters that rises up, and the flame hits it and there is a noise and a flash, and Dantiir looks at you all and is going to reach out, and before he can say anything, he is washed away. And then the fire pushes over it. You do hear him start to mouth something, but maybe we'll hear at a later time. Then that's the fire. Glovia is currently an ex-sorcerer there on the floor. That means that it's Segrid's turn as the Abbot with, I wouldn't call it a smug look, but I would certainly say, this is your disinvitation from staying at the Abbey of Saint Markovia.
I'm running for the door.
Okay. So there's a nice door that is mostly unsinged.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get here. Everybody's over here. I'm going over here.
Okay. You get out. There's that courtyard. There's quite a number of yelling that's still going on. Oh, the other door.
I'm staying in, but I'm moving towards the door. I'm just getting with the group, basically.
Okay. Solidarity. Easier targets. Let's say you've done that. Is there any preparation you want to do? Any defensive positions or?
I think I'm already raging. I don't remember if I was raging or not.
Okay.
I'm gonna rage anyways.
We'll certainly make it happen.
Brr.
All right, Toren, you saw your brother disappear in a whitewater incident. Just happened right now. Usually that's with rivers. This is weird.
Like a political incident or like a natural?
This is actually, how do you want to investigate that? Certainly you don't see a lot of water indoors.
Would I... Does it look like a spell I might know?
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, okay. Oh, I wasted it on an Arcana check!
So it's a natural 20. And the times that your brother has spent trying to show you things out of this dumb kid's book that he picked up from a mansion so long ago. It's a book called Strahd's Tales that was partially constructed by Isabella. He picked it up from that Falanescu manor. But he's been going on and on at every rest about, it's like, hey, look at this new thing. It kind of reminds me of this other story. Do you remember this? And honestly, he's picked up quite a number of stories, so one kind of falls into another. But you do remember recently he'd been trying to make connections between this fairy tale of a prince who was devoting his sword to a lady in white who lived in a lake, and how her love for him and his love for her would save them both. He thought it was pretty cool. There was a scene in that story where the lady in white from the lake protected her prince by taking him underwater. And it was a scene that, well, for all how he gets on your nerves, Toren, he does have a good turn of phrase. And you remember that scene in a very evocative way, resembled exactly as Dantiir disappeared just now. As if he was a character in that story. And that he was taken up by a white wave. So you don't think it was a spell, but for your brother to be taken up by a story? That's almost too bard-like to be true.
So he's completely gone. I can't see him at all.
No, not even with your sight.
Okay, well, then I'm going to use my bonus action to stabilize Anna with Spare the Dying, because she's within 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to roll death saves no more.
Yay!
She
You're
just
still unconscious.
looks at Anna's body and says, "You're not dying today."
Not this time. And then I'm gonna be an idiot, and I'm gonna point at the dragon, and I'm gonna say, "And this is your uninvitation," and I'm gonna cast banishment.
Oh my
Please
gosh.
work.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
What level
So-
are you casting this banishment?
I can only cast it at 4 because I used my 5th level slot on Glovia.
Okay. So let's try this charisma saving throw. This is a spell, but he's not in his angelic form, so no advantage against it here.
No, he makes it.
Okay.
Damn it.
The abbot reasserts his control over this section of reality and does not pop away from its home plane. Where would you have been trying to send him?
Oh, back home. Yeah. Oh, out of, hold him out of Barovia long enough that he can't come back. But not that that mattered. So I'm just going to yell, "Get out!" at everyone else.
As the abbot almost does not step out, doesn't even wink out of existence, there is, as he puts his gold claw down, just 2 small bats that pop out from underneath his claw and puff away. As if into ash. Alright, everybody. Toren says, "Get out." Anna, you are currently asleep.
I am asleep. I'm having a very nice dream.
Oh man.
I would
So nice.
I would like you to roll a death save just to check if you get a nice natural 20 that might wake you up.
No.
All right, we're not going to count that very low roll and just keep going.
Okay.
So in this case, Isabella, our not so friendly neighborhood flesh golem, is leaping across the table and is just beelining for the first living thing that they can see, which happens to be our gold dragon, who kind of stepped just a little closer to Toren. And there's like a fist reaching for Toren, but there's a second fist that's wheeling around for the abbot. And he's kind of not quite seeing this coming. But we get 2 attacks, one on the abbot dragon, which definitely socks him in the face for some bludgeoning damage. And the other one goes for Toren. This is for more bludgeoning damage.
And I am unconscious.
Yeah.
I am down.
The rest of you just hear Isabella screaming in an almost slurred speech, like, "Ma, ma."
She's like a little cow now.
Yeah,
Little sheeps.
one of those little sheeps. So Toren, with that bludgeoning damage, you go down and you start to not feel so well. Speaking of not feel so well, and on our way over to Ezra, our sweet lad's turn, Ethan, our bat friend, I don't think survived.
No, he poofed back.
Okay.
But Ezra doesn't know that yet.
Nope. So Ezra's maybe looking around for Ethan. There wasn't even quite enough time to say, it's like, "I don't feel well, sir," and then poofed away.
Okay.
So it's now Ezra's turn. Toren's just been punched in the face and has gone down. Anna is on the floor. Sigurd is near you.
Okay. I'm going to put my hand on Segrid and ask her, or tell her to come with me. Hopefully. And I'm gonna cast Dimension 4.
Oh my.
400 feet the fuck out.
Okay.
In the idea towards Crest, maybe on the road. Not in it, yeah. I'm gonna try.
That's something. Okay.
What?
But Sigrid has to be willing to come with me, or else
You-
she doesn't.
Can you
know.
take someone that's unconscious?
Is Sigrid unconscious?
No,
No,
but
Toren.
Are you asking me if I can take Toren?
Is the
That's a good question.
I think I'm too heavy for him to carry.
Yeah,
no,
that's what I was thinking.
I just have to touch somebody.
You have to be able to carry them, I think, if they're not mobile.
Okay, I'll follow Ezra. Oh, I feel
That's
shitty
true.
about this already.
Okay. This is interesting. I did
No,
not
it's fine.
expect
It's fine. You're alive. That's good.
this.
Good.
Oh no, we haven't confirmed that yet. Give me an Arcana check, Ezra. There's something funny going on with this dimension door.
No!
Because this is the first time any of you has tried to teleport while within this domain.
Oh, I'm just boned.
All right, we'll see. Give me a nice Arcana check, Ezra.
Okay.
You can take my natural 20 if you want it.
Oh, please. 24.
Fantastic. Okay, something is going wrong with this spell. It is the first time that you have used it. It is meant, from what you've studied, to be just a simple, instantaneous conjuration. Certainly nothing involving any dead things, but as you step through this portal you've created in the air, you see nothing but dead things all around you. There are flocks of flapping skeletal bats, snakes slithering with no flesh.
Ethan's bringing you an army.
That's totally fine.
There is gouts of dark red and black lightning as you pass through what should have been instant travel, seemingly minutes, half hour. This is... You can see an exit for this door, but the time is almost too much. You see in the side, and Segrid, a flash... No, that's the wrong word. Splash of white water, as if breaking from the surface of a lake. And Dantiir reaches up, and you see him shout now your names. And then, as he's reaching out, the surface of the water washes over him, as if he's been drowned back underneath, or at least pulled. When you arrive on the other side of the dimension door, you are at the base of the mountain. You are in the village crest proper, and Segrid is with you. There is not smoke, but you can certainly hear yelling happening from atop the mountain. And that's when another portal opens up in front of you. This is not white water, but it is got the sigils of a green teleportation circle, one made more formally. But as you see them come into being, they start warping and bending as if somebody has taken this teleportation circle and is starting to pull it apart. And you see a head start to come through, and then one arm pull through, and then you see Viktor Velakovich's lanky teen frame kind of pull himself through and say, "Oh, Ezra! Oh! This is, Are you outside of the valley?" And you see him start to sink back into the portal. And you see one hand, like, grab onto the edge of it as he holds on. He's like, "Hold on, something's not quite right, I think." And then you see smoke start coming out of the portal instead of a lot of teen lad.
Oh, geez.
His hands disappear for a second. And then you hear just a faint voice says, "Wincencia, no!" And then there is a skeletal cat that runs through, and then the portal breaks. And, Segrid, if you could give me a dexterity check.
Oh, hell.
Oh, nice. Okay. You catch most of this cat as Wincencia mostly comes through. There is a section of her tail that has been cut off as the portal broke. And the smoke trail that was coming from inside the portal just kind of also is cut off, and there's just this thick plume of it going up at the edge of Kresk. The smell of burning wood is near enough there, but when Sensia in your arms, Segrid, is purring very loudly, which is strange and unsightly coming from a cat that is nothing but bones. You're not sure exactly where the purr is coming from, except from the bones are vibrating in your hands as she is trying to dig herself into your neck. Thankfully, there's no nails on this. You just see the forepaw bones. But she is clearly very upset. Also missing half a tail, so it's now a little short tail cat.
I think I'm just gonna pat the head for a second. You support the butt, pat the head for a second. So look at that, just stay or go.
I don't know. I didn't think this far ahead.
All right, I'm going to shove the cat at him, and I will physically pick him up over my shoulder.
All right.
And run like a fucker towards the end of town. Just shove the shoulder and run.
Wonderful. Okay. Town is not too far away, and that's where, of course, you get to see the town guards who are serving there at the front, and you get to see them shouting down, "Hey, what do you think you're doing down there?" And then there is a pounding at the Kresk city gates, and snarling, and the dark clouds overhead rumble with lightning, and there is just the sight of two malevolent red eyes looking down. Eyes that are tens, if not hundreds of feet wide. Okay. Let's see. Pounding above. Movement. Toren, roll me your first death save.
Oh, no. I don't want to click it. Okay. Oh, okay.
It's not bad.
18.
Yeah. An 18 is nice. That means that's one good bonus. You get to be alive, and if you get two more of those, you get to be just fine. Anna, we're not going to worry too much about you at the moment, but you can go ahead and do a death save as well. Let's see how lucky we can get.
Oh, not 20!
Since this happens at the start of your turn, this is very lucky. Anna, you wake up. This is what you see. Around you, there is burning floor. It's still very warm to the touch, and, most of the the lunch brisket is just toast. The toast is literally toast. Segrid and Ezra are no longer there. You're not sure what happened. Toren is laying on the floor next to you, and Isabella is being held in the air by one simple foreclaw by the Abbot, who is still in his gold dragon form. And he's currently chastising the young girl in a very calm voice, but not really any of that is coming through. So you're on the floor. They don't seem to have noticed you. Toren's also on the floor, breathing rather labored at this point.
But he is the dragon and the flesh golem are between me and Toren, correct?
That is correct. And so you see that flesh golem being held up in the air at least 2 feet off the ground. And you've got a long table right next to you. There's a nice hearth that's still going on behind you.
I'm trying to figure out what I have to heal with that is not a touch. I just have 1 hit point, correct?
Yes, 1 hit point.
So I'm going to... Where's my book?
Run away.
I can't run away.
That entirely depends on the state of legs.
It does, and I don't have my player's handbook with me because someone cleaned this room and I don't know where it went. So I want to do that thing where I lay on hands of myself.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure how many hit points I get. Hang on.
When you think about you touch yourself?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 5 points for every level.
That sounds right.
5 times your paladin level.
Lay on hands. It is my paladin level times 5, yes. And we are... Okay. So I'm going to spend all of it and come back up to full.
Oh my.
You just like reinflated that balloon.
Well, I didn't quite, because it's really only, I came up to 45, which is a lot better than 1, but not quite my 60. Oops. Okay, and then I'm going to try to stealth crawl my way towards Toren.
Okay. Just get past the
Aren't you wearing like golden armor?
No, she wears a chainmail armor under her sweater, so it doesn't make a lot of noise.
Oh, I was pretty sure she was just in a sweater. Okay.
No, she wears her armor under her sweater.
All right.
It's cold out.
It really is.
But she's just not very good at stealth, so.
All right,
Oh,
let's try that
19,
out.
not too bad.
That is pretty good. Okay, so for right now, because they don't seem to be in a combat situation, Isabella, of course, is completely out of it. The dragon's passive perception is just under this. And even less so the abbot, who is slowly transforming back into himself now that, well, all the threats seem to have been taken care of. So as the abbot transforms back, Anna, you have a good use of stealth.
Okay.
What
How
do you
far
wanna do?
can I get? Can I get all the way over to Toren or no?
Yeah, sure, let's say that.
Okay, so I'll at least get over here, and then because I've already used my thing, and the other thing is, I don't think Cure Wounds is a bonus, is it? Is it a full action?
Let me peek.
I can peek as well because I have it in here.
Full action.
Full action. Okay, so I will then sort of like stealthily pretend to be dead next to Toren.
Okay, it's like, was that always there?
But
I thought
I'll
she fell
die
by the
like
table.
with my hand on him so that I'm already touching him for my next turn.
Okay, that is some interesting things.
Don't get handsy.
Torn like slaps that.
Toren is dead and he's still like, no touching.
Torn has not held hands with anyone in 40 years. All right.
Nope. Except maybe his mom.
So Isabella's still not really calming down and is punching the abbot and kicking, and it's the not being too kind about it, and so the abbot is taking quite a bit of damage from very powerful sounding punches. The abbot is starting to grow frustrated there. Back down in the valley at Kresk. That's where we get to see Ezra. Y'all are at the gates, and there seems to be somebody on the outside, and they really, 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 really want to be let inside and are making demands of it.
Okay. Well, I'm on the back. I'm in Sigurd's arms basically. So.
Yeah, that's
I'm-
true.
What
like-
does it look like out there?
I'm gonna yell at the guard, just like, who's out there? What's out there? Let me out.
It is a bunch of hillbillies, I think, but they are being very insistent in coming in, and I'm telling them that they have no wine, that they are not allowed in. It's safety for our village, after all. They are not, and he's jabbing, like, back at the outer wall, not understanding of this. And then that's when you see a wolf person jump the full 20 feet, grab one of our fair guards by the head, and pull them down off the wall.
Oh no! What
We
the
may
heck
not
is
be-
happening?
All right, and as the guard Balthazar screams to his untimely
Oh
death,
no, not Balthazar!
Oh,
she's like, no! And then there's there is not a thump. There is the sound of tearing flesh as it sounds like a band of dogs or wolves is just tearing this person apart. And there are resounding howls from the outside of this gate.
I'm going to drop Ezra, shove him behind me, take out my spear, and just start pushing him backwards. I'm keeping my face at the gate, but just pushing him behind me to get backing up away from everything.
Sure, that's probably a good idea.
And I'm gonna Ezra's just gonna be like, I can only do this once every time I sleep, but here, take some of this, and I'm gonna do the one cure wounds that I can do.
Alrighty.
Oh my gosh, do you really get 11 healing? That doesn't sound right.
Ezra's getting very strong.
It doesn't sound right.
No, I'm quite happy. That helps a lot. And if there's a structure behind me, I'm going to try and start pushing towards the house or structure or barn, anything.
Oh, definitely. There would be a house nearby. So there's definitely the sounds of a lot of snapping, a lot of howling, and the guards at the wall are very spooked at this point. And they're calling for us, should we leave the wall? Should we retreat? It's where will we retreat to? And it's tough times up here in Kresk. So back at the top, Anna, you see the abbot is growing fairly angry about this golem, and he's saying, now, Lady Isabella, this is no way that a new bride is to act. What would your husband think? And at this point, that's when you hear rather heavy footfalls. And through the door, you see another flesh golem enter, one a brooding hulk of a form, and it stomps over you, stands near the abbot, to whom he nods, and it speaks in a very grating and slow but familiar voice. Now, Isabella, I told you. We fixed this. They can't kill me anymore. And the voice continues to modulate until you do hear Glovia Falenescu clear as a bell in this new flesh golem body.
She's so lucky I'm dead right now.
Anna, you have no idea who this person is, but
Yeah,
Toren had
I
a
don't
thing
know.
against him. And she goes on to calm Isabella, telling her that the special markings they had made with the help from Lord Strahd's library mean that they'll always be able to find their new flesh home, no matter where their spirits may rest.
That's just creepy. But I pretend that I'm dead. Blech.
And Isabella the flesh golem starts to calm down. And you do note the abbot is covered in, well, you weren't sure that angels could bruise, but there are certainly a number of contusions that are starting to appear. back down at the base of the mountain, Segrid. What do you want to do now that you've backed up into this nearby cottage? Doesn't seem to be anybody in. Maybe it belongs to one of the guard.
Like, close the door.
Go inside.
If I can, and just
Hold on there, Miss Misery. I think I'm having
Take-
some audio trouble.
I think she's going
guard
inside and
by
locking
a
the door.
window and just kind of like crouch.
I think you hear that you're heading into the cabin, close the door, and getting in a crouch beside the window. And we will...
Oh, and she's gone.
All right.
No. I'm pretty sure that's what she said.
So,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
so-
sure also, which is good preparation as the gates, you start to hear just continued pounding.
Am I back?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Okay, so you went into the cabin and then you are prepping near a window. Toren, give us one of those death saves while we're checking.
While we're waiting.
Here we go, guys.
You got this.
Nope.
No!
All right. Anna, you see Toren just stop breathing for a little while.
Oops.
And yeah, that's something. The Anna, on the floor, it's your go.
Yes. I am going to cast Cure Wounds on Toren. I will do it at 3rd level.
Okay.
I think that means you get 13 and not 11.
Actually, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Your
My thing is funky. I
your
think
thing
it's
is set up weird. I think
yeah.
it's 13 plus 3.
Okay.
13 plus 8, because she would get that extra D8.
Okay. So 13 plus 8. Do you want me to roll the 8 or is that no just plus 8?
No, it was a solid 8 there.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so a nice 21 health. Toren, you start breathing again.
No, and then I clap my hand over his mouth.
Fleshy, flesh
And
golem
accidentally
perceptions are
smother him
bad.
to death.
No more breathing noises, so... Alright, so because that's there, Anna, do you want to start crawling away or onto her from Toren?
Yes, I'm going to make a face at Toren and start trying to stealth out the door.
Okay, give me another opposed stealth at this point. The others are involved in some conversation and are starting to move off. And that's when another mongrel folk will come in. This would be from nice Otto Bellevue, who has come back in with his shovel. And says, "Here now, Abbot, you all right?" And sees Anna just kind of crawling in, crawling out. Like, hey, this one's only mostly burned.
no.
At which point, all eyes are on Anna.
She'll go, and die.
Oh my god, why?
Because maybe it just took a little while for the fires to kill her.
Sure, it could be that. Isabella is mostly pooped, so we're going to go to where Ezra is there with Segrid in the cabin. There is resounding booms going on, and when Sensia, the cat in your arms, is still trying to like bury herself into you, and is holding
Just
tight
open
onto
up
your arm.
the weird clergy cloak that I have and just stuff the skeletal cat in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It just makes a meow, and then it's just quiet.
Okay, I don't know what we're supposed to do now.
I have no idea.
I mean, we could go through that hellscape again. Did you see the hellscape? The skeletal things?
I'm gonna have nightmares for the rest of my life.
Yeah. So like,
I thought this place is bad enough, but no.
I could do that again, but I don't really want to.
No, I'm not going through that again. No.
Okay, so we're going to just hide,
Fuck, I don't know what.
defend this place.
I don't know what's outside the gates. I don't know if it's any better than what's in here.
We saw like a wolf thing, like kill that, like take that man.
If
He's dead now.
you want to go home, and I can find some Vistani, I think I can get you home. If we can get out of here, I don't know, but
At this point, over your heads, near the rafters of this cabin, another green teleportation ring opens up, and you see the feet, the well-leathered boots of Victor Walakovich hanging down, and the words say like, "Whoa, this is, and he starts like slowly lowering himself down, and then as one hand is kind of gripping on the bottom of the teleportation circle, kind of like trying to push himself out with his legs just waggling there in the air. It's just like, this was not how it was supposed to. And then you see like another cat skeleton drop, but this one has like come on all four legs.
Oh god, catch the cat!
Sandra! And then as you see one hand let go of the edge, you see his body kind of get sucked back up. Whoa! And then the teleportation circle breaks again. And there's another cat, a much skinnier one. Imagine like an Egyptian hairless, but again, just the bones. But it has a belt round her neck, and it is named Zandra.
Okay, this is Zandra.
When Sensia makes a very muffled meow from inside Ezra's coat, and Zandra comes over and starts pawing at Ezra's pants.
What am I supposed to do with all of these cats now?
keep them out of the way.
Okay, hold on.
All right, it starts.
Another cat.
Okay, Ezra, what do you want to do? Segrid has made an offer to try to get you out.
Yeah,
There.
but we have to get out of this place first.
It's true.
I don't even know. I'm just gonna crouch and hide with Secret.
Okay, let's give you some defense. At that point, you hear the guards kind of just barring the gate, and they are trying to stand behind it, but there is a lot of howling going on. Back there atop the Abbey, Toren, you're awake and alive, and Anna, so are you, and they've noticed. Specifically, Otto and his shovel, as he's bringing it down on you with his leonine feet near your face. You are absolutely certain this must be the person who left those tracks, those grave robbing tracks from before. Or at least that's what you consider as well as his shovel comes down. And let's do this with... let's make it a claw. A clawed shovel.
That does not hit me.
Okay, so it brings down, it's like, what is this sweater made out of? It isn't like solid metal, or as he pressing down onto it like a very forceful push. It's like, or maybe mail? It's like, what do they make these ones out of? That's when Anna and Toren, you see a splash of water erupt from the center of the Abbey's cafeteria at this point, shoving Isabella, the Abbot, and Glovia in her flesh body away from you some distance. There is a glowing Dantiir, white with light, moving out of this splash, and he waves a very long object from his hands, and there is a flash of light, to which Isabella, the Abbot, and Glovia are not able to withstand. And as they are temporarily blinded, Toren and Anna, you're going to have advantage in what you try to do next. And for the sake of some smoothness and switching around from different maps, Segrid, do you mind if we have Toren and Anna go before your turn?
Fine, go right ahead.
Okay, so
But
Toren and Anna?
makes sense.
Yes. Toren, let's go with you first, since you all had a 14 initiative. You're alive. You have some health. Dantiir showed up just now. His flash disappeared again.
He keeps flashing people.
It's rude. And I look around and I see Anna's moving towards the door but being stomped on.
Yes. There's this dog person who is there, and they're not being very kind. Also, you're pretty sure he's a grave robber. Steals babies.
Oh, that asshole. Okay. I am going to stand up, and I'm going to... Fuck. I don't want to let this...
That'd be very forward for Toren.
I know, right?
And I am going to turn on my chipper shredders, which I'm pretty sure will bother Monsieur Grave Robber because he's within 15 feet of me.
Very true.
So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm. Let's try that out. They are pretty flat. That is a 10. How's that?
He fails, so
Okay.
he will take 13 points of radiant damage.
Ooh.
And then, because, you know, what am I if not an OP mofo? I'm going to bust out for my bonus action the spiritual weapon, which will attack him also with a 23, and he takes 10 force damage if that hits.
Yes, absolutely. And you can either knock him out of the way, or end him at a certain point.
Oh, yeah, he's being ended.
Okay. There is no longer any barrier between y'all and the doors. There are also stairs nearby that lead down, and another pair that lead up. This is seemingly a very busy entranceway.
And I'm just gonna sort of stand there and just look at Anna and tell her to run again.
Okay. Anna, your turn.
I will get up and run.
You talking about out the door into the courtyard, or?
I assume that's where we're running to, so sure.
Okay.
You assume we're both running.
Hey.
Let's try that. That'll get you out into the courtyard. There's still some, now a chorus of screams coming from the assorted locked up mongrel folk from those sort of portable private areas there in the courtyard. There's also a number of these mongrel folk who are starting to come out the doors from the other sections of the Abbey that they're asking why the lunch bell has not been rung, and that it's really a good time to start having lunch. And they're just coming out of it must be the rest quarters for the Abbey, and there are a number of them. There are at least a dozen of them already walking about the courtyard, and they still keep coming out. This is like as if it's lunchtime at some local college. They are just coming out of the doors, each of them more changed than the last. You think one of them might have like gills, is having a hard time breathing as if he has allergies. There's another with sort of a dog snout along half of his face, so that he's got just a really weird grin. Another with definitely a horse's neck and mane, but he's balding on top of his head, so it's like the mane has definitely been what he's been trying to keep well groomed.
Really creepy sounding.
Yeah, these people came here, according to the abbot, to be improved, to have their human sides be shared with fair, powerful animal traits. It's just these kind of things take practice. Okay, so courtyard of very strange folk.
Yes.
Cool.
Hopefully I will try and, well, I can't blend in. I will try and keep out of their sight somehow. Like, keep to the edges and behind barrels and...
Let's see, you are wearing a mostly singed sweater, so
Yes.
that's something. Okay. Still blinded by the light, I'm going to have Isabella just kind of flail about. She makes it into the table, where you hear just a very childlike "Ugh!" as she tumbles over to the other side. And just kind of cries a little bit as she says she scraped her knee. And that means that it is Sigrid's turn. There are now two cats in the room. There's pounding at the gate.
Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Oh my god. Okay. Ezra, I don't know what to do. We might be able to hold up here for a bit, but I don't know what to do. Everybody's gone.
Vamp us out again.
I don't want to see that stuff again.
Yeah, I don't think we can close our eyes either.
Just stay here. And bar the door behind me. Just keep an eye out. You'll know when it's me.
I don't think you should do that.
Then what? Like, I need to see what's going on at the door. If there's something there, maybe we can get around it. I don't.
I'll just go with you. Wherever you go, I'm with you.
I'd rather if you... Sigrid's losing her mind. She's probably crying at this point. completely lost. I'll look out the window again. Is there anything new, anything different?
There's one less guard atop the top wall. There are continued shouts between the guard and those who are outside. And Segrid, actually, roll me. What's your perception at the moment?
Yeah, I was wondering. It's like my passive perception's 15.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Listening and watching as you are for any changes there at the gate, you can make out the very loudly shouted demands of the persons outside. They are calling for not passage into the village. They are making demands that persons be turned over. A paladin, a cleric, a necromancer, a fighter, and a bard. And they are asking very specifically for your names.
Do I recognize the voice?
It is very husky and growly. And
It's a dog.
Yeah, not one that you have heard in recent weeks.
Oh, we're so fucked.
The cats are spooked.
I don't know what to do. I think everybody else. I don't know what the fuck Dantiir did. Whatever. Just left. But I think Toren and Anna are dead. I'm pretty fucking sure they're dead. They're oh my god, they're gonna be parts of that thing.
Go back and check. If you want.
I'm not going near that place again.
Okay, that's my options.
I don't. Oh my god. Yeah.
An idea. I just bamf us again, and we head towards the Raven people. They were nice.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I can do it twice. More.
Make it through that place again.
It's never done that before. It was terrible.
How far can we get?
The text, the text that I transcribed says like 400 feet. So.
How far will that get us past the gates? Will they even? Those things out there might see us.
I feel like we can get pretty far.
And there's two giant red eyes in the sky, right?
Yes. They're looking down upon Kresk.
I think there might be people belonging to him.
Oh no, definitely. I think this whole thing is kind of our fault.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my god. Okay.
Well, I will ready the spell.
Oh, what if that fucking Victor? If he could get his thing right, we can get through there. But I don't. All right, do it. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. I've never had to be the thing that everybody. I just followed everybody. I'm not the adult. The adult's dead. As far as I know.
Well, that's what we'll try then.
Oh, I fucked up so bad.
That's great. So good.
All right. So I think that means that it is Ezra's turn.
I don't know what to do unless you come up with something better.
running away is just my idea. I know that I think Victor is trying to do something, and now I have 2 of his cats, but I don't really want to wait and find out because the thing cut off a cat's tail. So
Yeah.
at least we go see horror and we don't get cut in half, maybe.
Do you know how to do what he did?
No.
Damn it. Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's try and do this again. I'm not ready for it.
Do you want to run or do you want me to take you?
No, I just have to touch you and we go.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it. Gonna try and cast Dimension Door again.
Nice. Okay.
I'm gonna just in my mind's eye on the pathway that we took to get here from the Wizards of Wine. Wait,
Wonderful.
I don't remember exactly how far it was. It was like a couple hours, so we're not gonna get anywhere near it, but
Sure, but it's certainly in the direction.
yeah.
So as you cast the Dimension Door, the howling dimension is passed through again. This is not something that you have seen described as part of the spell. It is something that is just very disturbing. The skeletal bats and snakes are now replaced, and there are snapping dire wolf skulls all around, but disembodied from their heads. And you are pulled further. It's as if somebody has taken a hook and hooked you somewhere behind your belly button and is now pulling. And you see the opening where there had been just the outside of the village. There's just the vision, like as a passing window on a train, as the scenery moves so fast and so far, of wolves at the gates of Kresk, of Valaki on fire, and then of the Svalek woods and trees and walking trees, and then you are rising up into the air. You're rising 20, 40, 60 feet high over seemingly endless falls, and then you are feeling very wet as you splash down into, this must be like 5 feet of water. It is all around, and everything of you is feeling wet, and the cats are meowing that you cannot quite hear through the water very well, but you can feel the vibration of them in your coats. And around you, you are... Well, there is a mold-covered ceiling hanging 3 feet above this still and black water that fills this dungeon corridor. You are... How tall is Ezra, again?
5'2".
Perfect. Your nose is just barely above water.
5'4". Sorry, I had to double check.
Your whole face is well above water, with your touching the bottom of your chin. You are in a 10-foot square cell with the entrance blocked by iron bars that line both sides of this hall. And as you sputter, and Segrid as well, from one of the cells nearby, you hear a gruff voice ask, "Who's there?" And then we'll go to Toren. So upstairs at the Abbey, there's a nice blinding light. There you saw Anna make it outside the door. You hear some people asking for some good lunch. Dantiir has disappeared again.
Yeah, that's really inconvenient for me. How far away are New Glovia and the Abbot?
Oh, they're about 20 feet. mostly because
Okay.
they were pushed out of the way.
Okay. I am going to walk towards them.
Mm-hmm.
With my chipper shredder still active. And force that upon them so the two of them have to make wisdom saving throws.
Nice. Okay. Glovia is miraculously going to make it, but the Abbot, what's a 16?
That meets it, so they'll take half damage.
Okay. And
3d.
would this include Isabella since she's there in range?
Yes.
Okay. That is a 1.
Okay. So those two will take 6, and Isabella will take 12 radiant damage.
Okay.
And then I don't think my spiritual weapon can only move 20 feet. I don't think that's enough to get it close to anybody, because I had it whack what's his face.
Oh yeah, Otto, the feral chemist.
Yeah, no, but I will move it so that it's in between me and them.
Okay. Good positioning.
And I'm just silent and angry and glowy-eyed crying.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my turn.
What, you were also sad and angry and glowy-eyed crying?
That's it. I'm just going to stand there, and I'm going to keep them occupied while everyone else runs.
Okie dokie. Anna, how you doing outside in the courtyard?
How many mongrels are around me?
There are now about 20. They look mostly like regular folk, except with all these animalian features. They're kind of ignoring the sounds of the ones howling from within the locked rooms outside here. Locked tool sheds.
Toren hasn't come out yet?
Has not.
But he told me to run.
There's a big set of gates over to your left where you had come in. And,
This?
of course, the other part of the Abbey where all these mongrel folk are coming out from.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make it to the gates. I'm just gonna
Nobody tries
try.
to stop you.
Nobody tries to stop me? Okay, so I'm gonna just, like, dash. To
Okay.
hopefully get out of the gate.
Yep. You kind of shove a shoulder to that iron door. People kind of wonders, like, where's she going? And you see Zyfric outside. She kind of jumps a little bit as you pass by, but she like jumps backwards towards the wall and kind of tries to huddle down and pretend that she's not there.
Okay.
So you can see the iron gates just swinging from where you had gotten in. And there's that really long switchback track that leads down to town. And you can see from way up high here the remains of what used to be their pond and gazebo. And something's going on at the town gates.
Can I see the eyes in the sky?
Most definitely.
Oh, good.
They are focused down there at the town gates.
Well, I used all my... I dashed, so...
Okay.
That's all my abilities.
Segrid, down, down, down in the water. You are... How tall is Segrid?
She's like 5'9", 5'10".
Excellent. Okay, so you see Ezra kind of like floating with his face up, and you have your full head out of the water and shoulders. But you are definitely in a cell, and the person who's there? There is He's not a well-dressed person, but I guess you wouldn't expect that in a jail cell, a dungeon. But there is a bald black man in a dungeon cell just down this room from you. You can see about 8 cells all together. You're in the northmost one, and he's about 3 cells down from you, kind of gripping onto the bars. He's also of similar build, not as sunken deep into the water as Ezra is, not as tall as you are. But you say, "Where'd you come from?"
We were trying to get out. Something happened. Now we're here.
He kind of lets go of one of the bars and taps 2 fingers to his head and then points up. "He is the land, eh? You tried to get out by using magic, didn't you?"
Oh no!
Wait, where are we?
Oh. Well, not everybody gets an invitation these days, I guess. The accommodations, they're to die for. This is, be your first visit to Ravenloft, then?
No. I've never been down here before.
He looks around and says, "You know, it was a lot wetter than I thought it would be. Definitely, oh, don't mind the smell. Just been down here a couple of days and, well, not much privy."
Yeah. Is there any way out?
There is a door that is a fair dungeon jail cell door. There is a lock, and it is about 3 feet underwater from where you are. Though you can certainly be walking around. It's just very, very high water.
I look at Ezra and say, "Is there anything you can do with the lock?"
No.
Because it's underwater, what condition is the lock in?
It is in... this is not salt water. It is... Well, it's not full salt water. It is a bit brackish. And as you are kind of checking around and feeling at this lock, your feet actually knock into something rather heavy. And though the bones are old, it looks like the remains of a very short person are there tangled up in your feet at the bottom of this cell. Its plate armor has definitely had the worst for wear, and so that rusted plate armor is there. And it looks like there's a good battle axe nearby it. The lock itself, you can feel just the edges of rust around where the keyhole is.
Alright, and I still have all my stuff, right?
100%.
Okay, alright. I'm I don't know whether to just grab a bone and shove it in the lock or just start hitting with that with the other battle axe. I'm gonna grab the battle axe and just start whacking on that lock.
Okay,
Or
Ezra,
even
you
if I
might...
can get it in between the door and just
wedge
crank
it? Okay, cool. Give me
Even
a
something
nice
like-
strength check on that.
see if I can break something.
I'll give you advantage because you're getting a nice leverage.
Can I just use a strength saving throw or?
Just a regular strength check, or you can use athletics.
Okay, sorry.
Let's see. I think my roll 20 froze up, so let me know what you got.
25.
Oh my. Okay. There is a snap that you feel through the vibrations of the water, and you've definitely got this guy's attention because your door has just popped open. And so you see free use of the hallway here. There's some stairs that kind of go up from outside of your cell. The guy who you've been talking to says he's been here for a while. He's 3 cells down your side. You're pretty sure that the other cells in here are either empty or there's like some spindly arms spread wide and somebody's face hanging down in the water at one of the cells on the opposite row.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else's legs are like tied up into the ceiling with boots bound with rope. But those 2 are definitely not moving. And kind of gray slime has started to grow on their remains.
Alright, I'm gonna wade down to his cell and just ask and say, what did you do to get put in here?
He is somewhat astonished at what you've accomplished. Said, recovers in just a few seconds. Says I came from Valaki, a bunch of werewolves. I don't know if you've seen them around, but they're the worst. They chased me before I could get anywhere near the village, and I thought this place might be safe. Maybe Strahd wasn't in. The door certainly welcomed me, but before I knew it, I was put way down here.
Okay, so you're a bit dumb. Okay. I'm gonna try and do the same thing.
He says, fair enough.
Crank the door open. Same thing as with the other one.
Okay, give me another athletics. He's going to be holding on to the other side of it and kind of trying as much of a push as he can.
Okay, so would that be... Can I roll again for advantage?
Yes, definitely an advantage.
Yes. 19.
Okay, you also break open this door, and he says, like, "Oh, I could kiss you. Oh, let's get out of here." And then he kind of turns back around. He's already like making his way up that hallway, and says, like, he kind of raises his hand up, and kind of reaches out to you like in a handshake. He's like, Emil Taranescu.
I'll shake his hand. I was like, I'm Segrid. That's Ezra. Get us out of here and don't make a lot of noise.
You got it. And he will lead you up the passage until you are in a... as you go up some stairs, there's a rather still waterlogged. You're only in about 3 feet of water this time. It's like a hall that looms to the right and to the left. And it says, they brought me down from the right way. I think we'd probably better get back up here and... Oh, mind the step. That one is a teleportation trap. It's not... put you right back in that same cell. And he's pointing at like a section of floor that just seems to have sigils marked on it. And while he's pointing that out, a green teleportation circle appears just over it. It says like, well, that's never... And then a flood of smoke starts billowing up from beneath the water, bubbling and heating. As he jumps back from this, he steps on one section of flooring that falls down. Some of the water starts to drain from this pit trap, and he like backs away and also pushes you, Ezra, out of the way. The green teleportation circle just has fire and smoke coming out of it before it bursts, and nothing comes out of it further. Though the smoke is a little consuming at this point, it does flow kind of evenly between the spaces, but is mostly sucked out down the east passage. Same as what Mr. Tornesco here had suggested. Ezra, what do you want to do?
What is even happening right now?
It's pretty good.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, I guess we're just going to trust this guy, and he knew where the pitfall was, though. We'll just follow wherever he takes us, I guess.
Okay, he's going to take you up that east passage. It turns into a set of stairs, spiraling up and up, with fluttering torches and iron sconces illuminating the way. And as you kind of chase the smoke, there is a chill wind that rushes up with you, and it almost seems to kill the very heat of the torches there. But as you go up and up, you almost feel a little lightheaded, as if you're going up some great heights. And then we'll go back to Toren up here.
So yeah, I'm just going to use my spiritual weapon to whack at the abbot. Let me click it again to roll an attack.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 15 hit.
For that abbot, not quite. It whacks him on the arm. And says, "Stop that."
Dag nabbit. And then that was my bonus action. I'm going to, I think it to.
He is not looking very well. Between the pounding of Isabella, well or bad, poorly placed as it was, as well as your Chipper Shredder Spirit Guardians, this has not been a great day for him.
Okay, well then I'm going to be super reckless, and I'm going to cast Blight on him.
Ooh.
He has to make a Constitution save.
So this was not his lucky day. This is... Tell me how this goes, Toren.
It is 42 points of absolute disgusting, awful rage at this thing that has managed to further corrupt the one good thing he thought he had managed to accomplish in Barovia, and he's going to make this thing who claims to be an angel suffer for it before he dies.
The abbot's beautiful body and holy raiment before your eyes blackens and tarnishes. His gold scepter and golden necklace of the Morning Lord twist and melt into the floor. His very bones seem to be smoking out from his fingertips, ears, and eye sockets. And as gold-colored tears stream from his eyes and his body melts away, he is still just lamenting that he wanted to bring happiness to these people and to this land for the glory of the Morning Lord. And he repeats this a few times: for the glory, the Morning Lord, the Lord, the Ancient, the land, until he's a pile of tarnished accoutrements and clothes. You have turned around that blight onto this angel former that no longer exists. So that means that Anna,
Yes.
you are up.
What can I see going on in the town? Can I see the gates?
Yes, there is a great kerfuffle happening over at the gates. The switchbacks aren't too far in width from the town distance. There is a great difference in height. But from what you can see, there is some kinds of negotiations going on. There's like people shouting down and waving spears. And on the other side, you can clearly hear the howling of great big wolves. Because one of them kind of goes leaping at the 20-foot wall, and you can see this great shaggy head that is bigger than a man just kind of swoop and swipe at one of the guards who got a little too close to that wall. The people of the village are huddled in houses. There is no one on the streets, and someone is quickly pulled into a nearby building. It looks like someone from the burgomaster's house is coming out. It is burgomaster. His wife is coming out after him, but he is pushing her back. This is from a great vantage point away, but your ASMR eyes are a little better for this than a normal person's would be.
Okay.
Other than the wolf howls, you cannot quite make out anything being said over there, other than that there's pounding, they're howling, and there's panicking.
And I feel like I need to go and defend the town.
They have this one wall.
I what?
They have this one wall.
They have one wall, but the wolves seem to be hopping at least tall enough to reach over it a little bit.
A little bit.
So I will. I will channel divinity for my... Not channel divinity. I will Azamar wing myself.
Oh my.
So that I can fly.
Mm-hmm.
And I will fly as high up as I can get, which I think I can still only have 30 feet. And I will shout to the wolves to try and get their attention.
Okay. What do you shout at them?
I'm mostly just going... I don't know what they're looking for because I can't hear them, so I'm not being like, come get me. I'm just going to make a very loud noise to try and get them to turn around and see me.
Oh, okay. So, making that very loud noise, what you do see outside there of the village is a great dire wolf. And there are two persons standing as humans, but in a very lupine form, as well as a couple of smaller pair of wolves near them. So there are some very transformed werewolves out there with their own backups. And as they see you up in the sky, you now hear them say, "That is one of them! Bring the others, or your village will perish. The Lord commands it."
Did that came from the eyes, or that came from one of the wolves?
That came from the very gray-haired wolf at the front. Okay. One of the werewolves that's standing there. That one is gray-haired. The dire wolves there are almost black, and the wolves near them are shaggy but kind of gray-white. The other werewolf that there is staring up at you with almost stark white hair all over. And you see this werewolf kind of start getting into a crouch.
Oh, he's gonna jump after me. Well, I've already done all my movement. I think what I will do for my action, I will cast Shield of Faith on myself
Okay.
to give me a +2 to my AC.
Nice.
Oh, that was a bonus action. That's nice. I will use... Wait, where am I on this map?
I think you're way at the north part of that map.
Oh, here I am. Yeah, okay.
But you should be down there near the gate.
Okay. Down here. Okay. So then I will hold my action to attack when he leaps at me.
Nice. I'm going to go ahead and make that now. And
Okay.
actually, it is a she, as you can kind of tell as she leaps up to take a swipe at you. What's your action?
My action is to hit her with a nat 1, so my action is bad.
Fantastic. Okay. I mean, relatively fantastic, I guess. So as you are exchanging this blow with this werewolf lady, she, in her hybrid form, kind of tries to snatch you down.
As long as she doesn't have advantage, then she misses.
Let's see. She doesn't.
Okay.
And then that's when the dire wolf next to her also leaps. And this one is just trying to grab you in its big, toothy form. So this one is a very quick strength opposition. I think if you can do better than a 7.
Oh, is it a save? It's not a save. It's just a thing.
Regular thing.
I did a 9.
Okay. This is a bit of a tussle. But you are... you stay up in the air and the wolves are snapping at you, and you have their attention. Most definitely. And you can hear the announcer of them say, like, "We will take this one back to Ravenloft. Bring the others to the gate now, or we won't be responsible for what he has happen." And this werewolf is now pointing up at those 2 red eyes. But the red eyes themselves are looking away from the gate now and are looking east, very far across the valley, past where Vallaki is burning and past where the Svalak woods have their haunting melodies, and into the depths of Ravenloft, where as Ezra, Segrid, and Emil Taranescu are climbing up a set of stairs and encounter a blocked passage of rubble, the Lord of Ravenloft, Count Strahd von Zarevich, melts out from one of the walls as the very red eyes fade from the sky, and says, "Segrid, Ezra, welcome back." That's our session for tonight.
No!
I'm sorry. I didn't know that was gonna happen.
More wonderful things I've been waiting to use for just such an occasion.
We survived? Question mark.
Lots of question
Toren
marks.
killed an angel.
Toren,
Yeah,
shut
Toren
up.
did. Well, he was a
Nobody saw
dragon
it.
angel. A dragon angel.
Nobody saw
Sure,
you,
that's
Kibby.
gonna go over well.
Ezra and Segrid have rescued 2 cats
Hey, and a person.
and a person
Yeah.
from a dungeon.
But you haven't gotten out of the dungeon yet.
Technically, they did
No.
get out of the dungeon, just not out of the castle. That's...
True.
And they're facing a vampire lord, like, in front of them. So,
You
you know...
win some, you lose some.
Exactly.
I'm
Right.
already prepared. You know.
Your sarcophagi are half full of victims.
Oh.
All right, so good times, good happy fun times here in Barovia. We'll be seeing you next week. Hopefully we get everybody in. Same Barovian time, same Barovian channel. No, actually earlier, like regular time, actually. I apologize for that, just a lot of traffic on our end. Okay, well then,
Stupid traffic.
we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.